Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
This is Angela.
And this is Safiya.
And today we're talking about vitamin C.
So this is a good point now to give our little disclaimer. Whatever we say, it's just for guidance, for your information.
Make sure you use it as a jump-off point for your own research.
Yeah, and go and talk to your healthcare professional if you want to make any drastic changes, especially if you're on specific medication. So that's out of the way, Angela. Fire away.
What is vitamin C? Everybody knows, I guess everybody knows it's a nutrient, right? And it's a very important nutrient because it's...
I mean, generally we know, oh, right, okay, I've got a bit of a cold, let's have vitamin C. Or it's important to have citrus fruits because it has vitamin C, but we don't really know how it works. Why?
There's not
What's the
any proven scientific data to prove 100% that it's good for your cold, but it can't do any harm either. So keep taking it because it's not harming you. It's vitamin C is one of those vitamins that's water soluble. That means your body cannot store it. You have it, it does its work, and it leaves. If you have too much, it goes out the other way in your water when you go, when you go to the bathroom. So it's not something to worry about that oh, I'm going to take too much of it.
Yeah.
Right?
So, and from what I read, I think the latest studies show that actually it's quite important to have before a cold. Of course, you don't know that you're going to have a cold, but now that kids are back in school, they're going to bring back more germs. They're going to be, everybody's more mixed. You're back from holidays, etc. It's a bit colder. Now is a good time to have extra vitamin C.
It's part of the toolkit. You have to have a toolkit of trying to improve your health and prevent getting ill.
Yeah.
Vitamin C is one of them. It doesn't work alone. It doesn't stand alone. And as for how much to take, there's so much information about that. I would ask everyone who wants to know to just do your own research on that. The NHS has recommendations, and there's other healers, alternative, who usually recommend more than what the NHS says.
But actually, even if you go beyond the NHS, especially during COVID, there was a lot of talking about vitamin C, even from prominent doctors, professors, and scientists. So it's not just a question of you have to be either in the profession or you have to be outside as an alternative therapist. So they're also time for vitamin C, Angela.
Must be just.
So what can you tell us exactly then, what is vitamin C? How does it work? What is it?
Well, it's an antioxidant for one, which means that it's when you ingest it, it goes against oxidants, and those are things that go around the body and cause, let's just say, rust. Removes the rust in a way for you to understand. Oxidation is rust in the body. So antioxidants, they go around and clean up the rust, so to speak, in the layman's terms. Okay, and it does a lot of stuff. It helps your body produce collagen, which everybody knows, especially women who care about how they look, and they have ingest collagen, right? So vitamin C helps with that production.
And collagen helps with elasticity of your tissues.
Exactly.
Your skin, your nail,
It helps produce L-carnitine. It's something to do with protein, and also it helps with neurotransmitters. So neurotransmitters is how your messaging in your nerve system, like when you hurt yourself, your finger touches something hot, and then your brain gets the message that, oh, it hurts, move your finger from there, and that means a neurotransmission has been happening through the cells, the neurons, and so it goes from cell to cell to cell, and that is called neurotransmission. So that messaging between the neurons, the neuron cells, it's very important, and vitamin C helps with the smoothness of it. Of course, it's not the only thing, but today we're talking about the piece of the puzzle that's called vitamin C. Okay, so as an antioxidant, it helps remove unwanted substances such as other oxidative species from the body, they can absorb iron. It helps the body actually. So if you have anemia, don't just take iron. You need to do a whole host of things, and one of them is to have vitamin C, because even if your body is, say you're eating iron-rich foods, but if you're missing vitamin C, then it won't be able to help absorb as good as it should. Yeah? Mm-hmm. So that's something to look at. It also boosts your immune system, which why people relate it to colds, to prevent colds. But increased immune system improves your being able to fight viruses and stuff, and probably that's why it was so important topic during the COVID era, well, I guess we call it now era.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We're never gonna forget you. Anyways, it also enhances wound healing. Mm-hmm. When somebody gets hurt in my family, I always tell them to eat a lot of protein and have like gelatin, as in bone soup. The gelatin in the bone soup is very good for you, but vitamin C should be part of that toolkit again to help increase and improve wound healing, right? What else are we, guys? We're going to talk about it helps reduce inflammation and lowers the risk of various conditions, including some cancers. We're not going to talk, though, in depth about cancer. It's a very sensitive topic. It's an important topic, and we can't not talk about it. We're not going to talk about it right now in such a flighty, not very serious way, because it's an important subject. And again, we don't want to give anyone wrong information. Please do your own research.
False hopes as well, because ultimately you have to look at how you're getting treated, what treatment is beneficial, but it could be something you might want to look into as an additional.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
Or I mean, it's up to you. People decide different approaches for the different ailments. But again, as we said in the disclaimer, we cannot be held responsible. You do not, like, all of a sudden decide, oh, I'm going to replace my treatment with vitamin C.
No way. No,
that's not how it works.
Doing that. Now, going back to collagen, vitamin C, when we say it helps with collagen production. And what is collagen? Where do you see collagen in your body? You see it in your tendons, in your ligaments, in your skin, in the eye, in the cornea. It's in your eye. Cartilage, you know, where your knees bend and your elbows, where there's soft bone tissue. In the gut, blood vessels even. So low levels of vitamin C in the body can lead to scurvy. Now that's famous from the time of the pirates, when they would get scurvy, or you know, naval people who used to be at sea and would travel for months and not have any fruits or veg. And then
the pirates were famous for transporting pickled lemons to give them to have a little bit of vitamin C supply.
And how does scurvy look like, guys? This looks very painful. The symptoms sound really horrible, which includes swollen joints, bleeding gums, and that in turn loosens your teeth and you lose your teeth, anemia, and tiredness. So when you have anemia and tiredness, it's not just the iron. You need to go back to your whole diet, and one of it including vitamin C. There was this study in 2015, a mouse study, that found that taking high dose of vitamin C may slow the growth of some types of cancerous tissue. So you go ahead and check that. This paper suggests that vitamin C could one day become a new treatment for some cancers. Also, in 2013, there was a review that suggested that vitamin C might work well alongside other treatments to benefit people with cancer. And you see that goes along with the treatments that you're offered, not instead of. Okay? So, some benefits of vitamin C. Safiya, do you know? Tell me some that you might know, and see if You're right. What's known about vitamin C?
I mean, the main thing that I know, obviously, is that you know, about helping in the kind of cold and flu season. It boosts your immune system. But I'm impressed to hear that it has such a big impact on your anemia and the collagen levels, because I did not know that, and I think it's something that's quite interesting to find out, that sometimes we have perceived ideas about benefits and of certain ingredients, but we don't realize actually all of these vitamins and minerals, they have such a broad impact on the whole body. They're really, really essential. So what are the other ones that you have?
Well, apart from, we already talked about wound healing and muscles and other tissues, it helps with recovery. It helps with skin wrinkling. Look, a lot of these things seem to sound to me like it's women should take note, right? Especially people who smoke, women who smoke. I'm always very, very, what's the word? Very puzzled when I see women smoking and drinking. I know in the Muslim community there's no drinking, but there is smoking. Especially women who want to look so young, and smoking is one of the worst things. Like, introduce so many oxidants, and obviously, you know how they say you can outrun or out exercise your diet. Like, if your diet isn't good, you cannot lose weight. Well, if you smoke, you can outrun like your wrinkling, your skin damage, especially. So, even though it's an antioxidant, everyone should take note that you cannot have, for the damage that smoking causes to your skin, and it makes you accelerate your aging. If you care about how you look and you want to stay beautiful and younger looking longer, one of the things you need to do is cut out smoking and increase your vitamin C.
That sounds a really good advice. Interestingly, we found that vitamin C protects as well from prenatal health problems. Yeah. So that would be, again, it's always good to remind everybody that when you grow this new little being in your womb, you know, everything that you eat, everything you consume is going to go through the placenta first, because the priority is now the baby. So having extra vitamin C is going to help boost the fetus immune system, and again the collagen and the iron level, etc. So it'll have the same effect that it has on you. It'll have that, but obviously because you're growing that extra being, you obviously need more of this, because there's more demand on your body.
Another time we're going to be talking about the B vitamins, and some of that has to do with it's good for pregnancy. But believe it or not, I don't know if you know this, vitamin C helps when you have cataracts and age-related macular degeneration.
Interesting.
Right? It helps cut the risk, and it slows the age-related problems of degeneration. So you really need to reach for it, right? Like I said, don't worry about it being stored in your body. You need to take it every day, of course, through food, okay?
We'll talk a bit more after the break, exactly how you can get vitamin C. Any other specific benefits?
Yeah, I'm going to mention it helps people with diabetes.
Oh, interesting.
Okay. It helps. So there was a study in 2019, and they basically tested 31 people who were 60 years old to see whether or not taking vitamin C supplements made a difference to their glucose levels after eating. And after taking supplements for 4 months, the participants' glucose levels and blood pressure improved compared with taking a placebo pill. So this suggests that vitamin C could one day be a treatment for diabetes, to help your glucose levels. So that's very important when you're dealing with pre-diabetes even. So the other thing we need to remember, we already touched on anemia, right? And pollution. Okay, air pollution consists of various substances and chemicals that can have a negative impact on people's health, which means it causes oxidation. That's basically what it means. I guess smoking is one type of a pollution, but there's other kinds of pollution
that we can't really avoid.
That we can't avoid.
As much.
So some research suggested that a combination of vitamin C and vitamin E may have an antioxidant effect that can help reduce symptoms of asthma even, and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. That's a big thing to say, but this is what they're doing. They're trying to figure out how to help people with these diseases. So vitamin C is on the top of many people's researchers list, right?
That's why obstructive pulmonary disease, this is what would have been COVID, the COVID symptoms as well. This is why some researchers were recommending to up the vitamin C intake.
Alhamdulillah, that big test is over. And the other one is allergies. And during an allergic reaction, the immune system triggers an inflammatory response, and that can lead to symptoms such as swelling and hives. But taking vitamin C helps reduce that inflammation. Now we're going to talk about the source of vitamin C. And of course, a lot of it is from delicious fruits and veg.
Yes.
Citrus fruits, cantaloupes,
broccoli. I mean, it seems to be that basically it's very green leafy vegetables.
Yeah. Like imagine
anything
peppers,
that's colors, that's got colors.
Brussels sprouts, and even potatoes.
Even potatoes.
Even potatoes.
Who would have thought?
I wouldn't have thought. But no wonder when in history when the potato famine, it caused so much illness when
yes.
people are missing much of their essential vitamins.
Yeah, one thing that we need to mention, and we've mentioned it in the past as well, is that there's been a lot of changes, there have been a lot of changes in the content of vitamins and minerals in our foods because of intensive farming, because of pesticides, because of pollution, because also our own stress and pollution reduces the body's ability to absorb all these vitamins and minerals. So
in the past we would have been fine. We wouldn't have needed supplements. We would have gotten all our vitamins from just a seasonal diet, because in every season there would be vitamins in their veg.
So studies have shown, for instance, like take the example of potatoes. Studies have shown that in the past 50 years, the level of vitamins and minerals contained in a potato has dropped by 75%.
That is terrible. That's massive.
That is because of intensive farming. So, so it's something you need to think about, because often we hear, oh, vitamin supplements, they're just like expensive, urine, but
it's a supplement. That says it's a supplement. That means you have to have a good diet, and then you supplement it with vitamins. But nowadays, because the vitamin content of our food is so low, that we need to take supplementation seriously.
Exactly.
Okay.
I'll give you a very simple example. So I've been taking supplements for like over 10 years now, more than 10 years, 12 years, 15 years. And I always notice that I am not taking them because my body reacts, like my body feels different. I much less energy, I lose focus. But also recently, over a few days, I forgot to take my vitamins because I was busy camping, and for some reason it was not in my routine of like my breakfast routine. I was a bit it was a different setting. I had them with me, but after a day I started feeling really kind of discomfort in my joints and pains, and I thought, what's wrong? What's going on? Why here particularly? I was not sleeping particularly badly. I had quite a good mattress, in my tent, and it was really kind of aches. And all of a sudden it dawned on me, I had not taken any of my supplements for 3 days. And I straight away took them, but I did not relate it to the pain. I just realized that day, after 3 days, I'd not taken it, and I started taking them again and that morning, and then in the evening, all of my pains had gone. So it was basically, people have different, but the way the body works is different. Some have got it's like having, you've got a good car, it works, the engine's really nice and smooth, well oiled, never an issue, you know. And sometimes you get given a body that's like a lemon, really, you know, that has issues and everything in between. It's like the whole spectrum you can have in the world.
There's so many things that deplete us too, though, right?
Yeah.
Like if I said magnesium, you don't roll your eyes. We always talk about magnesium, but it gets depleted so easily from pollution. And like if you're taking meds, in fact, because there's from a serious researcher, I read that she actually believes that a lot of the medicine that supposedly works at the beginning and then later stops its effectiveness could have to do something with its interaction with magnesium.
Mm-hmm.
And then as you go along, it gets depleted. Anything can deplete. Sugar ingestion depletes magnesium.
So obviously now we're at an age where we are reaching perimenopause, so our body is not absorbing nutrients as well as it could. So again, this is another stage of my life and our life where it's important to supplement. So one of the things that I get asked often is, how did I know which brand to buy or what to use? So to be fair, if you know, there is an adage really which we should follow, is if it's too cheap, don't expect it to be really that good. Okay, supplements don't cost a huge amount of money to do, but they do cost a little bit. So if you buy something off the shelf in a supermarket which has been well advertised to you and has a lot of additives, fillers, etc., don't expect it to be like that great. For instance, vitamin C, it's very simple. You just buy pure 100% vitamin C off an online shop, powder form, add it to your drink in the morning. Try to not add it to like cordial and sweet and things, but like maybe a squeezed orange juice, or I always have it with squeezed lemon and a bit of magnesium in it as well, so it counterbalances the acidity.
And there's different types, so everybody, we need to do our due diligence. I'll give you an example about magnesium again, the different types of magnesium. That you go to the shops and you buy magnesium. Most of the magnesium on the shelves are, if you look carefully, it says on it magnesium oxide. Magnesium oxide, from research I realized that it's 1 to 2% absorption rate, even though it says how much magnesium is in that, right? So if you're supposed to be taking 400 micrograms and it says on it 375, but you know for a fact that if you see a magnesium oxide, it's 1 to 2% absorption rate, you're not absorbing that whole amount. So in order to get to that whole amount, you have to ingest a lot of magnesium. There is a type of magnesium that is way better, like citrate, magnesium citrate, or magnesium glycinate or glycinate, that's near in the 90% absorption rate. So it does matter what types of vitamins you have, and it's true for vitamin C.
Vitamin C, basically the standard form is a powder, is ascorbic acid, basically. So there's nothing added. It's just in powder. So that's I think the easiest way to take it. It's a little bit acidic, so add something to counterbalance it. I find that if you anything acidic, you add a bit of something that's salty, it will have the same effect as sugar, but it's not going to be as detrimental as sugar. So you can have a bit of magnesium powder or
in a
liquid.
glass of water with some lemon.
Exactly,
right?
And it's all
and a bit of salt, like sprinkle,
or a bit of salt.
Sprinkle.
Yeah, exactly.
Not teaspoons. We're talking about sprinkle amounts.
Good quality salt, rock salt, not table salt. And that really is something that you can very easily drink. And believe me, your palate does get used to these things very easily and very quickly. And then it goes straight absorbed into the stomach, because it's in liquid form. It doesn't have to break down the tablet. It doesn't have to digest it. It's just much quicker. So that's one way of doing it. You also have then more expensive brands that you subscribe to get on a regular basis. I like them for my multi supplements. Why? Because they're more expensive, but they do spend a lot of money in research and development. They have a brand that they need to sustain and to justify, to their reputation is at stake. So I do, and I would rather buy from them than from any brand off the shelf, even those in health shop that could look maybe a bit fancier, a bit better. When you have to distribute something on such a broad level, you have to cut somewhere the cost. So a brand that you find online and subscribe to, they don't have a shop, or they don't have a shelf to pay for. All of these brands that you see on the shelf and the advertisement, they have to pay for, and that has to come from somewhere. So that's kind of my approach. But do your own, so we always say, do your own research. It's really, really worth it. Vitamin C really is my go-to for all sorts of things. That's just kind of like you ask, what's the on Desert Island Disc, what is your favorite record, the only one you will take if you were on the night, or what is the most important item you'd take if you were on the desert island? And I'd be like, yeah, it'll be probably my multivitamin if I could, or it would be vitamin C, magnesium. And that's it. Magnesium is because I want to make. I
would think of other things to do.
Something essential like this, so you don't have to worry. You can be healthy and strong and do all sorts of things on your desert island.
Very practical, Safiya.
But yeah, it's one of those things that we like to encourage you to think about. Is to up your intake. Obviously, always start, as Angela, you always remind us, always start first with your diet. Look at the things you should remove, sugar and detrimental fats, the oil, the toxic oils, and then add whatever you think is lacking.
It's a journey. First of all, we have been a type of educated, in quotation marks, of what we should have. But remember, where does the education comes from? It comes from TV. A lot of companies spend a lot of money to convince us to buy their products. Now a lot of us are at the age where you realize, wait, hang on, they're selling it to me. If you use your common sense, you know that if somebody's selling you something, they have an interest in you buying. And where is the mind that you have to think, if somebody's selling you something,
especially spending so much money on advertisements.
You have to think, in order to be on TV, you are making a lot of money to be able to make this commercial. And I found that generally anything that has a commercial, you should not be really having it. True with even our vitamins and our food, and even some foods that we eat, so-called foods in quotation marks again, deplete us from our vitamins. So even if from food vitamins, like from the good healthy food, so we have to take it seriously. Everybody should be proactive. When you're going to your doctor for a problem, go do some research about it and ask questions. Go prepared. Don't go like, for a better of a lack of a word, like a sheep. Go somebody who wants to be a partner with your doctor to help you, come for your health, because you care more about your health. Your doctor has a lot of patients. They don't have time to care specifically about you only, right? So it's not like the doctors are bad. It's just that they don't have time.
Yeah. It's you have to take it in your own hands.
You have to be proactive and use the doctor as your partner in your health.
Exactly. There was one thing you said that reminded me of my mom used to say, like, how sometimes we misunderstand things and we have the wrong idea. So when we were young, my mom used to give us vitamin C in winter to help us a bit go through the colds, etc., as I said earlier. But she used to say, don't take it in the evening because it'll make you awake. So I kept on thinking that, and then I read actually recently that it's not the vitamin C that keeps you awake at night. It's the fillers, the extra sugar that's added. That's what is keeping you awake, making you. So if you have pure vitamin C, you can take it anytime.
Yeah, exactly. And don't worry about taking too much, because your body takes care of that. It's not a vitamin that it can be stored. Therefore, if you're taking too much for the day, you're just going to have like flatulence, uncomfortable stomach, maybe diarrhea. And that way, it gets rid of the excess. It doesn't harm you. It's not like a store vitamin like A, D, and E.
It's actually, it's often said, take take vitamin C to stomach comfort. So basically, until you get this, you're fine. Until you get these symptoms, like, okay, that's it. I have enough. My body now has got too much. I don't need to add more today because it needs to get rid of it. So it's quite a good way of finding out where you've reached your maximum point. But the general recommendation is 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C per day for adults.
Though, as a nutritionist, as a health care professionals will tell you it's better to get it from your diet. Like we said before, it's really not that easy anymore. So that's why we're talking about supplementation, but not to replace your very diet. Like, don't go eating McDonald's every day, but then take vitamin C or any other vitamin to replace the vegetables that you should have been eating or anything else healthy that should have been eating. No.
But another thing about vegetables as well, to not destroy the vitamins and minerals, don't overcook them. But some vegetables actually, some people say, oh, you should eat everything raw, etc. No, some vegetables benefit from being cooked slightly, like carrots.
Steamed, maybe.
Yes, exactly, steamed. Or if you cook them in water, I find just like it's sometimes just quicker just to have a pan in and everything, but steaming is great. Then don't throw away the water, use it in your sauce. Add it to your sauce, so you still keep all the good, maybe that has leached into the water, you can use that. So carrots are one of those that actually benefit from being cooked slightly for digestion and to release more of the keratin. And another thing as well, like a simple thing like basil. Basil, I think, is potassium, has a lot of potassium, and you get more of it if it's dried. So there's some interesting things, like little tweak, to up it naturally using your food, but by using your food in the right way. So for instance, oranges, don't squeeze them and get rid of all that nice pulp. The white threads, this is all, that's what helps you digest that vitamin C. The fibers, you need them. So I actually got rid of I had a juicer for a little while. When I saw that amount of waste inverted comma, coming from everything I was thinking, hold on a minute, I'm only getting the juice, I'm only getting the fructose, I'm only getting some part of it, but I'm missing all of that's like massive amount.
And that's some of the type of fiber that's really good for your gut.
Yeah, so some people do cakes with those, they could do soups with those, but you have to be really dedicated. So I thought no, juicing is really probably not the best.
No, it's not. It takes away the fiber and it
heats up
it also it becomes
damages.
Your insulin levels get spiked right away, but if you had the fiber with it, it would.
So there's nothing better than having the whole orange.
Yes, it is.
Not the skin, though.
Not
you don't need to have the skin
unless it's organic, and in that case, you can use it for the
rind. Yeah,
the rind. If you grate it and then you dry it, you can add it as flavorings in your cake, but only if it's organic, you guys.
Yeah. One way actually to get rid of some of the toxins that are aside from the pesticide, I think, is to soak your fruits and vegetables in water with bicarbonate of soda. That absorbs and removes some of those. So that's a good way as well of cleaning your fruits and vegetables a little bit if you want to. But yeah, I think we've done a good roundup of vitamin C. I just love it. I think it's something that I'm enjoying having in the morning as a drink, and I feel that maybe compared to other members of my family who are not regular at all with this, I'm the only one who's like every morning virtually religiously have this. I find that my general immunity is better. I don't seem to be catching colds as easily as others, or coughs, things like that. So I'm quite keen to make sure I don't. And my past experience, as I said earlier, showed that it makes a difference when I don't top up. But yeah, have lots and lots and lots of vegetables all day long, lots of salads. Yeah.
And anything green colored, red, peppers, oranges, eat those that's a good indication that they have vitamin C. And then do some research about a good supplement.
That's fantastic. So next time, inshallah, we will be talking about vitamin Bs.
Yes, vitamin Bs, and that's
Several
a
of them.
lot.
Yes.
I would recommend you bring your paper and pen.
Yes.
There's so many.
And we will also talk about stress and how to reduce your stress, what is stress, and what's caused, and how you can manage it. As we know, stress can affect how you absorb your nutrients as well. So it's quite an important thing to manage.
We're thankful for everybody who listens. We'd appreciate some feedback to encourage us. So please don't hesitate to send a message to the radio station email, which is info@heritageradio.org.uk,
and also on our YouTube channel, Wellness with Angela and Safiya.
Yes, of course, we're like 2-3 weeks behind on YouTube, so whatever you hear today, it's probably going to come out in 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, roughly. It's generally a couple of weeks. But there's loads and loads. We have many shows, 36 shows now uploaded, so plenty for you to listen to.
And leave feedback and share and like. Thank you so much. We really appreciate this opportunity for being able to bring this information to you.
Alhamdulillah.
Have a nice week.
Take care, everybody. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum.